tonight, unlike any other night, the church gives very specific directives for the topic of the homily. The church directs her priests to preach on these mysteries that are commemorated by this Mass, namely the call to fraternal charity, to imitate Christ, the institution of the Eucharist, and that of the priesthood. And given that it is my first year as a priest, I hope that you will bear with me as I focus particularly on this teaching about the gift of the priesthood, of why Christ gave it to us. I believe that one of the most important lines for understanding all of Holy Thursday, but particularly the priesthood, comes right at the beginning of today's gospel. It notes that on this night, that is Jesus' last night before he's about to be arrested, to be tortured, to give his life for us on the cross, John writes that Jesus loved his own in the world, and he loved them to the end. Who are his own? Who is the them that Jesus loves to the end? I'll give you a hint. It's not just his disciples. It's not just the people who are immediately present during his lifetime. No, Jesus is loving everyone who belongs to him, past, present, and future. That means you and me. He loves us to the end and wants us to know and experience that love like his disciples did. And so he gave us the priesthood. St. John Vianney famously said that the priesthood is the love of the heart of Jesus, that through the priest, his love is meant to be continually demonstrated, and he is to be made present to his people. And so he institutes the priesthood so they can continue to reach out to us, to touch us, to speak directly to his people. Every one of us, we're all called to live like Christ, to imitate him. But Father Chaz and I, by virtue of our ordination, and deacon as well, have been called to a particular imitation of Christ, to a more intentional union with him, so that each of us in our own way, because we're all different people, can extend the reach of Jesus to the world, that he would be present in us, and that by our ministry, the words and actions of Jesus will not just be confined to the past, not an event that happened back then, but would be made present for each one of us. That's particularly why Jesus gave us the sacraments. He wants to reach us here and now. Just look at confession. In the sacrament of reconciliation, through the priest, you come into direct contact with Jesus. You hear Jesus, through the voice of the priest, say the words that he would have said so many times in his lifetime. Your sins are forgiven. Go in peace. Do not sin anymore. As priests, we have the privilege of being instruments. We extend Jesus' humanity, allowing him to continue to directly minister to the people that he loves, not just in the sacraments, but in any way that we lay our lives down in service. When we imitate the model that Jesus set for us, that he set for the first priests in the gospel. And so that is why, as you'll see tonight after this homily, Jesus calls men to be priests, not so that they can lord it over those that he gives to them, but so that through Jesus, through them, Jesus continued to serve his people, that he wants to wash our feet, just as he washed the feet of his first disciples. The ministry that Father Chaz and I and Deacon that we share, it's just a gift that we share with him. It is his ministry, and we are privileged to have it with him, to exercise it alongside of him. The heart of this priesthood will always be the Eucharist, of course. And if you're like me, when I read the gospel this week, I was thinking, why don't I hear about that first Eucharist? Why do I hear the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet instead of the story of the Last Supper? When Jesus says those words, "This is my body, given up for you. This is my blood." Why don't we hear that? Why is that not what we hear? This is the Mass of the Lord's Supper, after all. But as I ponder that question, here's what came to me. We don't need to hear the reading of the institution of the Eucharist. We don't need to hear that gospel passage, because in just a few minutes, we will experience and see it for ourselves firsthand. Remember that through the priests, he acts and speaks in the person of Jesus. And so this means that although you may hear Father Chaz, you may see him, you may see me, it is Jesus who is speaking, it is he who is working. And so just like those first disciples in the liturgy of the Eucharist, you will hear Jesus speak those very same words that he spoke to them all those centuries ago. Take and eat, this is my body. Take and drink, this is my blood. The one sacrifice of Jesus will be made present once again on that altar. And so we don't need to hear the story of the first Eucharist because we will live it. He will be present right there, and we will receive him, welcome him into our hearts, into our lives. And that's the heart of why I'm a priest. That is the heart of why Jesus gave us the priesthood, so that he can continue to directly minister to and love his people. All of the mysteries that we're going to celebrate throughout this Triduum, they don't just belong to the past. We're not just remembering an event from back then. No, we're walking in it right now, uniting ourselves to Jesus at every step. And so to help to live this out, to live out this mystery, to carry it out in us, I would ask of you two things. The first is to pray for your priests as we seek to imitate Jesus, to unite our lives more closely to him as we walk with him, especially in this Triduum, offering our own lives, seeking to love you, to serve you. Jesus uses our humanity, but we still need to grow. I hope it's not a surprise to you that Father Chaz is not perfect. Definitely not surprised that I'm not. Deacon, well, he might be, I don't know. But either way, we still are called to unite ourselves more closely to Jesus every day. And to do that, we need you. We need your help, even as we seek to serve you. And the second thing I would ask of you, devote yourself to the sacraments and to service, particularly following the example that Father Chaz and I will try to set tonight, as we ourselves follow the model that Jesus gave us in washing the feet of our people. Serve those around you with generous hearts. Be filled by the sacraments so that you're united to him and can give yourself away as he has called all of us to do.